Let me just share to you next. Okay, press walks. Please,
Yes.
kindly
Okay.
do the honor of introducing our next speaker.
Yes, it's my honor to introduce our next speaker. He's one of the coaches from Fit Dubai. He's a 3x 70.3 Ironman finisher and reps level 3 PT. He's also a certified personal trainer, a CrossFit level 1 certified, and he has a diploma in sports nutrition. He has also a certified rehab trainer and a level 1 FMS. He's also a karate black belt in Shotokan. And he's also a frontliner as a nursing graduate. So he's 25 years in fitness industry and 2 times national physique champion. Founder of LifeSpark Fitness Academy and LifeSpark Fitness, and admin of Philippine Fitness Professional Group. And by the way, he's one of very active sweep guy you will see in the sweep Philippines and all over the sweep groups in Facebook. So I'd like to introduce Coach Danny Cordero from Fit Dubai. Yes, Coach.
Thank you very much for having me, and it's my pleasure to be here. And yeah, I hope to share some exercises since I'll be sharing strength and conditioning exercise specifically. So it will be more of a visual presentation of those exercises complementing on the topic that Coach Nomer have discussed. But before that, let us discuss first the different components of fitness, right? So most of us probably know like 4 or 5 or 6 components of exercises, but there are 15 actually, right? So there are 15 components of fitness. And there are components of fitness that is very important for triathletes. But to give you an idea of the 15, there are, for general public, there are the basic components of fitness. So triathletes or not triathletes, individual general public should have or must work to have these components of fitness. Number 1 is cardiovascular fitness or the cardiopulmonary fitness, which involves your heart and lungs, the efficient functioning of your heart and your lungs and the circulatory system, muscular strength, which discussed by Coach Nomer, pertaining to the ability of your muscles to continuously contract continuously without stopping. For example, how many push-ups can you do? Can you do 20 as a basic, or can you do 50? I gave a challenge a week ago for someone to do 100, and there's a person who can do 100 push-ups non-stop. So that's muscular endurance. Muscular endurance. Muscular strength is the 1 rep, pertaining to 1 rep max that Coach Nomer discussed, which we'll be discussing later as well. And then the ability for you to lift maximum load in 1 repetition on those what we call compound exercises. I call them the Fantastic Four. So which include your squat, your deadlift, your bench press, and the overhead press should also include in your 1 RM test. Flexibility and mobility, which most of the people are being confused. What's the difference between flexibility and mobility? So flexibility usually pertains to range of motion in the muscle. Mobility is the range of motion in the joints. So flexibility and mobility should be worked as well. Ideal weight, definitely very important. Ideal fat percentage. So ideal weight is based on your height, and then ideal fat percentage. There are people who are on the ideal weight but not having ideal fat percentage. ideal weight but over fat. So you have to work on the proportion of the lean mass to the weight, to the fat percentage. Okay. Ideal body chemistry, I pertain here to your biochemical test, your liver function, thyroid function. So we do this like 6 months or yearly. We test the CBC, the blood count, the hormones. So it is important for individual to do these tests to know the level of your body chemistry. All right. And then we move to the next level, or to the skills and sports components of fitness, which includes speed, agility, and quickness. We call it SAQ in sports training. Speed from point A to point B, how fast can you cover the distance? Agility is your ability to change direction quickly. Yeah. So some are again confused with agility with quickness, right? So quickness is the quality of moving fast. Agility is changing direction quickly. Okay, reaction time, self-explanatory. How fast can you react to a certain stimuli? Balance and coordination, also some are confused. Balance, self-explanatory. Coordination is smooth and efficient control of the movement. And then there's the physique symmetry, optional, but in other sports, this is very important. The balance of the sizes of different muscle group. Some people just work the legs, some people just work the arms. So they end up having upper body big, but the legs are small, their biceps are bigger than their legs. So physique symmetry is also a component of fitness. All right. So now I'll be displaying or showing, demonstrating different exercises, compound exercises that will complement Coach Nomer's phase 1, which is the build-up phase. You will be working on this on 1 RM. I'll be showing some movements, but the focus here is the Fantastic Four, or the compound exercises that we discussed before. Okay, so here are the Fantastic Four and some of the isolation exercises and specific body exercises that we should work on. Okay. So this is the squat. Yep. Here I'm doing a 10 RM. On your build phase, you should work to reach your body weight on your 1 RM. This is the bench press. So we call this the Fantastic Four. Yes. Aim for 1 RM. Depends on the program duration. This will be converted to 60 to 70%. This is the deadlift. Proper form is very important. Again, this exercises not only work one muscle group, because you have to coordinate all muscle groups to perform these exercises. And this is the overhead press. You can also work on your clean and press. Okay, these are complementary exercises for your strength and conditioning. When you are climbing mountains, you need to have a good bicep pull on the bar. Overhead tricep extension. So these are more of an isolation exercises. So these are specific for your hips, glutes, and stability. Very important in your running and cycling. Balance or asymmetrical movement, left and right, so lateral. So it's a fast going up and slow going down. Variation of the glute bridge. You can see my hamstring is also fired up, or the posterior chain muscles. Do not hold your breath while doing exercises. Balance and coordination. Stability is important in running and cycling. So you are working here what we call proprioceptors, small group of tendons, ligaments that controls your balance. So para hindi kayo matapilok also. A variation of a one-leg deadlift. Working the posterior chain. Mobility, flexibility, hips. Can you squat close to the floor? When you squat, you should aim to make your hamstring touch your calves. Yeah. So that's for the build pace, focus on those compound exercises. And then you will aim, if you have time, because it will take time to develop the 1RM. If you do 1RM without foundation exercises, you will end up hurting yourself. So the anatomical adaptation is very important. So for example, here are exercises that doesn't require too much of the weight, but also very important exercises for strength and conditioning. So this is a combination of body weight strength, mobility, strength and conditioning. I usually do this after a 1 kilometer warm-up. And then before my long run, I do these exercises. You can also do this before your cycling to activate, not as much, but it will help you activate the muscles needed before your cycling. But this routine is particularly for running. So joints being loosened up. Again, flexibility, balance, coordination, and then conditioning. So you're also increasing your heart rate here. Yeah, runner's favorite workout, the lunges.
Getting this, doing this.
So you don't need weights to do this. You can do this at home as well as a general workout. This is a high kick, flexibility. We prevent the shortening of our muscles. If you can kick level with your head, it'll be awesome. Yeah? Higher than the head.
Stretch your hamstring.
Yep, stretch. Dynamic stretching. By the way, this is me. Before the quarantine, I am 87 or 88 kilogram here. Since April until now, almost a month. From 5 hours a week of cycling and running, I am now doing 5 hours a day of cycling. DXB, we participated in the Ramadan Cycling Challenge. And yeah, we are usually cycling 100 kilometers and above every day. So before, I dreaded cycling the full Ironman distance. Right now, since 3 days, I'm doing full Ironman distance every day. So this is what adaptation or specificity do to our body. We have an incredible adaptation, the human body. Specific adaptation to impose demand, right? So yes, 180 kilometers a day. And the last 3 days probably will be 200 to 250 kilometers a day. And how can we do that without strength and conditioning, cardiovascular fitness, speed endurance training? So it's very important. What helped me to develop this endurance is having those foundation from squat, deadlift, bench press, overhead press, the compound exercises, and then incorporating them to pacing. So right now, I'm not doing those exercises in terms of 1 RM or even 10 RM. I'm on to like 60-70%. So I'm into 12 to 20 RM because it will be counterproductive. As Coach Nomer said, there's a pace. And mostly now, because I am into endurance, like competing, it's like a race period, mostly body weight exercises I'm doing. Another thing that helped me, for example, just 10 days ago, I did 12 hours of nonstop cycling. If your back muscles, your traps that support your neck is not strong, holding that position for 12 hours, your core, if it's not strong, you'll end up having stiff neck and cramps. So it's very important, strength and conditioning, and VO2 development through the next slide, which will I show you, which is my favorite, that about the exercises. So body weight exercises, no more weights at the moment for me because of the endurance. So have everyone tried Tabata workout? So this is the last part of the first part, which focuses on the core. Yeah, it's not as much as the next phase. So Tabata, you know that already. It's a 20-second work and 10 seconds rest. You do it continuously for 4 minutes. Some individual has a misconception on Tabata. It's Tabata style, but not Tabata per se. The real Tabata should be able to bring your heart rate to zone 4 and zone 5. Like this exercise, I'm only using the Tabata timer. Yeah, working my core, working my abs. But this is not the main purpose of Tabata training. So the next slide will give you an idea of what Tabata training is. The next routine. Okay, this is an example of a VO2 max or VO2 development workout. I'm doing this at home and it helped me build my endurance. You know, in the times that we need to dig deep, high intensity interval training, plyometrics really help in giving you that endurance. 10 seconds. Again, this is pre-quarantine. I'm 87, 88 kilogram here. Now I'm 77.5 kilogram. In just a matter of 3 weeks, I lost 14 pounds. These exercises are available in my YouTube channel and Facebook page. Send me a message and I'll just forward you the link. Ten seconds. Okay, last one, and just gave you an idea. So without balance, coordination, proprioceptor training, you'll not be able to do jumping lunges. You will trip. Yeah, so it's important to develop other components of fitness. Halfway, so I'll just do the same thing from the start. So just to give you an idea what's high intensity interval training in terms of strength and conditioning means, right? And the last one, last slide that I'll show you, okay, just for 2 minutes. Most people neglect. What do they neglect? Sorry, let's play that again. Open weird. This is a fast forward of the movement. Of course, yoga and stretching. This is me now. You see the difference between my physique a while ago and now. So from 87 to 77.5, more than 15 pounds, I guess. Yeah. And that is my trainer and my wife's trainer. So mobility, flexibility is very important as part of fitness as well. Common cause of lower back pain is flexibility of the lower back. These standing stretches, it will be followed by sitting down or kneeling stretches, lying down stretches. Again, if you want the link, I can send it to you and you can do this at home. Do not stretch when your body is cold. So after cycling or running, you can perform these exercises. When you stretch, do not stretch to the point of pain, only to the point of limitation. Remember that. So you should be able to inhale and exhale on the pose. If you are holding your breath while doing the stretch, it means you're overdoing it, right? So that's the standing stretches. You'll be kneeling and sitting and lying down stretches. Again, I'll be glad to share to you those link for the exercise. All right, thank you very much.
Coach Dan, before I will let you proceed. Hello.
Hello,
Coach Dan.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I ask some questions here actually. Okay. You mentioned about what are the most important component of fitness that an endurance athlete or triathlete should focus on. I know especially you are more on strength and conditioning exercises, but now because this is also a second question to that is, you just mentioned to me that you started doing endurance focus session. So wherein it had some effect on your body, apparently. You mentioned some few of them, but at the end, what are the most important component of fitness that an endurance triathlete, especially those who are doing full Ironman distance, should focus on? Thank you.
All right, so speed, cardiovascular endurance, muscular endurance, mobility and flexibility. So those are 4 out of the 15 very important components. So for example, before I cannot even run 500 meters without stopping. So Coach Lawrence and Coach Alex bring me to my sub 2 or 2-hour marathon just recently. It's a very demanding, for someone who came from bodybuilding, I'm so happy that I'll be able to accomplish that. So without cardiovascular fitness, muscular endurance, of course, speed, it will not be possible. So those are the 4, mobility, flexibility, to avoid injury as well. Those are the 4, I think, components of fitness that is very important for triathlete. Although the 15 components is like, if you have them, it will be awesome. Yeah.
And one last question from our audience. I'm sure you can relate to this.
Yeah.
If I may read it in Tagalog first before
Okay.
I will translate in English for our listener. Pag malaki ba ang muscle sa legs mo, mabilis ka rin bang mapatig ang muscle?
Initially,
yes.
Okay,
in English. In English, if you have a bigger leg muscles, is it more susceptible to fatigue or injury? Yes or no?
Yes, but you can train it to be like what Coach Nomer said, muscle endurance long. So there we have 3 types of muscle. We have type 1, type 2A, and type 2B, which you train deep on a different days, leading to development of endurance. But if you have big muscles, like for example me, all right, so came from bodybuilding, the demand of oxygen of each muscle fiber is too much, like really, like a lot. So you if you will not train more on isolations and endurance training, you will not be able to utilize or train the what we call the mitochondria part of that muscle to function like efficiently, leading up to lactic acid production quickly. So I started Ironman training just 3 years ago, all right? But I've been running. I haven't run like really long, but yeah, I started the Spark fitness program 8 years ago, and it took me that long, 8 years, for my big muscles to become efficient in like doing longer distance. So it will take time, it will take process, but the quick answer is yes. But you can train those large muscles to be efficient as the mitochondria and the type 1 muscle fiber to be more dominant through deep to training exercises and program dedicated or specific for endurance sport. It will take time, but it's possible. So the answer is yes. You will require more energy if you have larger muscles because of the demand of oxygen and lactic acid.
That question is from our viewer, listener, Mr. Tristan Maddy. Thanks for the question.
Coach Jay.
Yes, Coach Bernard.
Can I add something about that? It's a very nice question. I cannot resist it. Hi, Tristan. This is Coach Bernard from Fit Qatar. So I would just like to add something about the answer of Coach Dan, which is very nice, and I seconded that. Actually, one of the parameters in talent identification for adolescent athletes, the young athletes, are the bulk of the muscle in the legs. you know, guys, at work in Aspire and in PSC before, during the talent identification, if we see the muscles of the children are big in the calves, technically speaking, we are expecting that they will be good in sprint competitions. So what is the importance of this? If right now you have a big muscle and you're just starting, you can expect that you will be good in sprint and Olympic distance. And if you are going to try to improve and do the 70.3 and Ironman distances, the logic on this is you will try to transform that muscle to be on the oxygenated side, which is the one that Coach Dan was telling. So you are really correct, Tristan. When the muscles are big, it really tends to get tired more. But like what Coach Dan said, it can be trained.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Coach. Thank you.
Let's move on. Thank you very much, Coach Dan. It was really a nice presentation.